Hey, it's Matt here. Going to show you how to make a yeast starter. You're going to need, you can buy yeast starter kits, or this is just actually a glass jar that had like apple juice in it. You need a funnel, a thermometer, DME, some dried malt extract, and of course your yeast. The reason why you would want to do a starter is making a brew with a gravity higher than 1.06. In our case, we're doing it just to get our yeast at a healthy start, to get it going, get it in the growth phase, so get some cells reproducing.
Oh, yeah.
If we were doing a high gravity, we would probably use 32 ounces or 2 pints with half a cup of DME. But since we're doing this just to get our yeast going for our wheat beer we're making, we're going to use a 1/4 cup of this, and then we're going to use just 16 ounces or 1 pint of water. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get this mixed together and get it dissolved. Carson, hush! Okay, so we have our pint of water in there, 16 ounces. Now we are going to dissolve a 1/4 cup of DME in here. Oh man, that must have been wet still. Dang it.
You failed.
Yeah, I did. Should have dried that out. All right. So we're gonna dissolve that in there. Okay, so we finally brought this to a boil. So we're gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. We'll see you back then.
That's such a great grin.
Okay, we've been boiling for 10 minutes now, so next step is to get this thing cooled down as quick as we possibly can. Maybe add a little more, as much water as we can, with cold water. Okay, so we're gonna stir this to get it cooled down even quicker. Got it in this cold bath. We need to get it down to at least 75 degrees at the least before we put the yeast in there. Basically what we have here, it's a mini wort is all it is. It's like a mini batch of brew we're making just to get that yeast started. Okay, we got it down to, actually it's more like, yeah, it's about 75 degrees. So we are ready to get this wort into this. And of course everything's sanitized. And now it's time to pitch our yeast. So you usually want to have your yeast out like 3 to 6 hours before. Okay. And now, over the next 12 to 18 hours, we are going to come by every once in a while and aerate this. And to do that, we're basically just swirling it like this. That way you're dissolving oxygen in there. And with the oxygen, the yeast is going to use up all that oxygen and use up all that sugar by the end of the 18 hours. There won't be any left in there. So once again, we're trying to keep it in its growth phase, not its fermentation phase, since alcohol in high levels can be toxic to the yeast. If you don't plan on using it right away after the 18 hours, you probably want to stick it in the fridge. You'll notice it'll start to settle at the bottom after you stop aerating it after 18 hours. Just make sure you shake it real well again. Or you can let it all settle and decant off 80%, which would be kind of hard in this jar, so I'm just going to chuck it all in there. But yeah, so that's how you build a starter.